Hello, this is Palico Padge and welcome back to another episode of 80 Days, a Sleepy Sunday Let's Play. Now, I'm just going to say, before we kick off, you've probably noticed it a little in my voice. I'm a little bit hoarse today. I have no idea why. I haven't got a cold or anything. I'm just a bit hoarse. So I'm going to do my best to get through this. Bear with me. We'll just see how it pans out. I might end this one early depending on how well my reading skills are and how dry my throat is. But hey-oh, we've started, or should I say we finished in the last episode in Rome, of all places. Let's have a quick look. The reason I was on that screen is because, as you can see at the top here, the time carries on ticking. There is no way to stop that. And yeah, we've literally just got to Rome. We haven't had a real good look about. So I figure we'll start having a look in the market and then we'll carry on from there. We are still trying to head west, yes. But as it stands right now, we're struggling. We're struggling to get out there. So this we can buy a marble bust, a small, rather heavy marble bust depicting one of the Caesars of old in Helsinki. Not really heading towards Helsinki. That's no good. And then we have a zoetrope of well-oiled spindle, or on a well-oiled spindle, that when spun brings two ballroom dancers to vivacious life. Oh, it's a beautiful word. Rolls off the tongue that. And that's valuable in Cairo, Izmir and Budapest. We are trying to head towards Cairo. I would figure that Izmir is in the same direction. I'm pretty sure Budapest isn't. But hey-ho. The thing is, though, if we're going to take this on, we do need to buy another bag, which I don't mind doing. I don't mind doing. Can I buy another bag? I'd like to buy another bag, please. Please? Let me buy a bag. Guess I can't buy extra bags right now. Oh, well, that's a bugger. Let's explore then, hey? Oh. Nice. Not the way I want to go, but hey-ho. I was tossing a coin into the waters of the Trevi fountain when the Bersaglieri? Yeah. Burger marched into the square with their distinctive fast jog and began rounding everyone up. Now, what do? Do I try and slip away? A uniform struck me as idiotic. Probably not good to insult them. They sound like they're in a certain amount of power from in Rome, so no need to be, insulting towards them. I held up my hands. That admits guilt. Not willing to do that. I ignored them as best as I could. Probably the best thing to do here. I ignored them as best as I could. I was a mere tourist after all. But it was hard to disregard the soldiers completely once I saw that they had rifles. That they had rifles where their arms should have been. Okay. Now then someone jostled me from behind, and I turned to see a figure in grey reaching into their pocket, and then tossing out a grenade. Okay. So chaos erupted. I am no fool. I ran for my life. Well, I like to be open-minded, but I am no fool, and I did run for my life. It is the Zouave? An equally fleet-footed woman declared. They hate the Scuola for what they have done to the young people. Yeah, I did not know what she meant until she tapped her shoulder, then pointed at the blue-eyed, augmented soldier I had met earlier. As I slowed to a walk and then made my way back to Monsieur Fogg, I could not help but see more signs of the Scuola's influence, or I kept my eyes down and did not look at the people. Let's say I could not help but see more signs of Scuola's influence. In Rome, cobblers strapped into gleaming exoskeletons, glass blowers with ceramic hands, porcelain-faced automata fetching water and stoking fires, and even soliciting passing trade alongside working girls in scandalously low-cut dresses. Perhaps Rome is the future. I confess I do not know. Automated pimps, it's how it's going to go, I fear. That is the way of the future. Everything's going to be automated. It'll be automated hookers who have automated pimps. As night fell, I afforded my master every service. He's on 92 health, that's okay. I spent a few hours polishing shoes in the lobby, earned a bit of money. We're okay for cash at the moment. I spent a few hours walking around and took full advantage of some time away from Monsieur Fogg. When I returned, I felt in much finer fettle. Okay, nothing exciting there then. I'm annoyed. If we look, we are still heading ever so more so towards the west. This is not the plan. I wanted to be down here or down to Marrakesh, but I don't know. Maybe I should just carry on heading east. Maybe I should abandon all hope. Because we're on day 7 now. It's taken us a week to get this far. It's going to take us a good week to get back. I think we should just carry on. You know, I can see a line of least resistance here, which I think we should probably... Yeah, I think we should probably look at. What the hell does that mean? Separated from Monsieur Fogg. I haven't done that yet. Did I do that in my last playthrough? Does it save? I have no idea. I have no idea. Hey ho. I think we should crack on, whatever we end up doing. Now, do we go to Dubrovnik, which is £90, or we could go to Athens, which is 90? That makes sense. That's not very far for the extra £2. Cost effective. Oh, it would have been cost effective if I hadn't missed it. All right, well, we'll have one more day in Rome then, I guess. Let's have another look at the market. Can I definitely not buy another suitcase here? This is most disconcerting. I'm sure when it comes to Rome, they have fancy suitcases you can buy, like Louis Vuitton and stuff like that. Are you telling me you can't sell me just a plain leather suitcase? I don't really think I want to give anything up. We've got the Englishman's wardrobe set, which is complete. Open road set is useful. Cracker's always useful to be able to get more help off people who we travel with. The bank, not too fussed upon. I guess we're just going to stop at the hotel again. Hey ho. Maybe something more interesting will happen tonight. Before retiring, I helped at the kitchen staff to clean, or a few hours walking around again, and found a somewhat energetic Slavic artist who was looking for a child, oh dear, whom I found near a dog kennel. The artist thanked me, and as we talked, remarked that you could obtain accordions in Bucharest that will sell for a fortune in Ekaterinburg. I paid £1 for the information. I was assured him we were unlikely to head that way. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to say. To which my friend smiled. I said the same thing once upon a time, and yet look where I am. Your relationship with Fogg has strengthened slightly. Is that because he's a bit of a tightwad? Is that Monsieur Fogg? Is that what that's down to? Oh, we do have to go on an air balloon, though. You can buy busts of Apollo that will sell for a fortune in Saritsyn? Mademoiselle Estelle. No, we're good. High winds. This promises to be a bothersome route. So we're going to take a little bit of a hit on our health, but we should be all right. Look at it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Bit slow, mind, but hey-ho. We boarded a commercial passenger airship at one of Rome's many docks. The stowing of luggage was handled by lines of figures with hooks and extendable poles fitted to their arms. I watched with an acrobat's interest. While I could not look, they were abominations. Well, we're open-minded, aren't we? So let's keep with I watched with an acrobat's interest. As they flung cases to one another, swung in and out of the cargo hold, moving about like monkeys. They were cheerful types, full of raucous humour and efficient, for we were all within the cabin of the craft within a few hours, and the ship itself was tugging at its docking ropes after an hour or so more. Nice. Well, let's have a converse, shall we? Oh, with Monsieur Fogg. I am at your service, Monsieur Fogg. Why, my dear Passpartout. Okay, let's have a word. Money. This journey will be most expensive, Monsieur. Indeed, but we can earn a little from buying and selling our possessions as we travel. Wise. How are you feeling, Monsieur? I am in roaring health, but we must make haste. Very good. Well, as it stands, we're moving pretty quick now anyway. The trip was long and somewhat slow. I find the waiting involved in travelling interminable, or Monsieur Fogg was quite indifferent to it all. Well, it's going to be a long journey. We don't want to be getting grouchy right away. So let's stick with Monsieur Fogg. Was quite indifferent to it all. He peered through the window and nodded. Onwards and upwards, he declared. The airship crossed Italy, and we were approached by one of the cabin staff, a middle-aged lady whose serving tray was jointed to her left hip. Coffee, she asked, or would you prefer a pressé? Well, I can't ask for the newspaper, which is a shame. I can shake my head, I can ask for coffee, or I can say, is there no wine? I am French, after all. Is there no wine, I asked, and the lady smiled. Of course, sir. She replied and sashayed away down the aisle, returning a moment later with a deep glass of Merlot. I thanked her and toasted the benefits of first-class travel. Ah, he likes his first-class travel, does that, Monsieur Fogg? He always taking him with a beating now. Dodgy Merlot, that's what it is. Dodgy Merlot. Let's see if we can look after him. Oh, we knocked it up a bit. The Aegean below sparkled like a diamond-covered cloth. Even from this great height, we could see the ferry boats plying their trade back and forth across the water. Will airships remove the need for sea travel? How do we stay up in the air? Well, how do we stay up in the air? It's a sensible question. Is this magic? I have no idea. I have no idea. I asked the man beside me, a short Greek fellow with thick spectacles. He shook his head. My friend, I have not the slightest idea, but I do not question such things, not until I am on the ground at least. Fair enough. Can't argue with that. I asked him about Athens, or I did not find that reassuring. I asked him about Athens, and he spoke at length about his home city, how glorious it was, its illustrious past and wondrous buildings. I had the sense that Monsieur Sophos, despite sitting beside me, miles up in the air beneath a hydrogen-filled balloon, was happy to live inside his imagination and several hundred years in the past. Your character is now polished. Okie dokie. So hey, Athens. The evening jacket could earn us well here. Okay, well, we'll have a look. Right, so we have dates and figs of interest to stalwart, poor and foreign types. Poorest, earnest and prim types. There's so many different types. Bust of Apollo. A squat marble bust depicting the great god looking somewhat mean. Okay. Or perfumed oils. Of interest to feminine and posh types. Stalwart. Poor and foreign types. Poor, earnest and prim types. So there's 2 extra on that, but there's 2 extra on this, feminine and posh. See, feminine, I think that covers a lot more different people than it does just whether they're poor or stalwart or foreign. Although foreign's pretty handy, I suppose. Everyone's going to be foreign, aren't they? Of interest to poor, earnest and prim types. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's sell the crackers. Let's buy the dates, let's buy the perfumed oils. And why can't I buy another bag? This is really annoying me now. I would like to purchase another bag. See, before, if I pulled this over here, it would say I could buy another bag for X amount. It's not letting me now. Don't like that. Right, so the market's done. Let's stay here, I guess. We're going to spend at least 2 days here, I fear. My master was not, as a rule, particularly interested in the fabulous locales and exotic cities we journeyed through. Athens was the exception that proved the rule. His sudden interest was not limited to the city. He fixed me with a look. Do you speak Greek? I'd spent a glorious summer with a Greek contortionist. Ho ho! Shabing! I did not, though I will not go into the circumstances, or not enough to find out our way around. You know, once upon a time, I say once upon a time, this is a true story. I went to Bulgaria on holiday. It was the year before it got very, very busy with the kids. So before they did all, the 10 shots for a lever, I think it is. Or lev, I think they call it. We went on an evening out. We went into the mountains off, I want to say Sunny Beach, but it's not Sunny Beach. Anyway, the sea. We were next to the sea. We went up into the mountains, just north of Sofia, and we saw a contortionist. I presume she was from Bulgaria. I have no idea. Called Bendy Wendy. She was the second best contortionist in the world. I don't know what that means. Is that good? Is that bad? How do you judge these things? Is there like an annual contortionist gathering where people see who's the bendiest? I don't know. Just thought I'd mention that for you. Who could? Oh, I've lost myself now. Who could do the most elegant arabesque penché? Oui, monsieur, I smiled sharply. Not really, I hedged. She was bendy, but I didn't know how to speak Greek. I was not entirely certain Monsieur Fogg would approve of my rather specialised vocabulary, nor my agile methods of language acquisition. Despite my master's grasp of ancient Greek, the demotic variant more commonly spoken on the streets eluded him. We were reduced to Wandering at random or asking for directions through a combination of mine. Now, I've also found in my travels that wandering around at random, other than maybe getting robbed at times, is a good way of discovering interesting local things. So let's do that. Until by chance we stumbled on sight of the Acropolis. I gazed at the Parthenon. I watched Monsieur Fogg. I checked my watch discreetly. Well, I'm here to grow as a person too. So let's say I gazed at the Parthenon. Or the Parthenon's columns, for that matter. It was a magnificent sight, even in ruins. I could only imagine it must have looked 2,000 years ago. How it must have looked 2,000 years ago. That makes more sense. The jewel in the crown of the Athenian Empire. We observed in silence. I felt no need to put any words to the Parthenon's wonder, and Monsieur Fogg quite clearly shared my feelings. Ah, there we go. We're getting a strong bond. The boys are bonding. It's good. It's good. All right, well, I'm pretty much giving up on going west at this point. I took a few hours to explore, investigating the various options for how we might continue our journey. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And it looks like we're going to Izmir. Looks like we're going to Izmir. Okay. What was... That's not good for Izmir, is it? No. Sarıtsin. I have no idea where Sarıtsin is. Are we get back here. Stop it. Stop it. Are we going to be like getting close to Sarıtsin? So I'm going to show me now, is it? I have to go to travel. Sarıtsin? 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 No. Let's just go. Let's just go. Yeah. Toodle pip. Aegean ferry. It looks like Mickey Mouse's ferry from Steamboat Willie. We boarded the daily ferry across the Aegean Sea and then sat out on the deck enjoying the sunshine, stayed below and in the shade. Sat out on the deck enjoying the sunshine, getting some much needed rest. Boom. That's how we do that. What is your wish, master? Passpartout, you have my undivided attention. Let's have a quick talk about Izmir. I think that's where we're heading. What have you learned about Izmir? Well, Izmir is connected to Istanbul by road, but it's slow going. Or what do you know about Istanbul? You might be interested that some buyers will pay well for evening jackets from Istanbul. Or what about Cairo? I know that you can buy beaten gold rings in Cairo that will sell for a fortune in Tehran. Ah, okay. Is that it? That's it. Other passengers milled around, talking loudly and drinking ouzo chilled by chips of ice carved from blocks in the hold of the ship. The boat had the air of a market cafe. Oh, I kept a close eye on our possessions. That makes me suspicious that we are likely to get robbed. Let's do it. The boat had the air of a market cafe or the gathered crowd before a concert. Clearly sunshine is good for the soul. Otherwise, I spent my time in conversation, trying to find options for our next journey, and I discovered from a somewhat frenetic Baghdadi woman that Bedouins made regular fantastical journeys into the deep deserts around Hail. That's how you say it. Don't quote me on that. Yes. Oh. There we go. So, market's about to close. Let's have a quick look. Ah, see, we can buy an extra suitcase now. Bolt of silk. A machete. Part of the Jungle Traveller set. Or Eastern Spirits. Well, we're going to buy that. 326. I mean, that could come in useful. So let's pull that down. Why not? Why not? Do I want an extra suitcase? Seems like it doesn't seem you can buy suitcases from anywhere. Probably not. No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Good to see we're well armed with that machete. Well, nothing but your peace of mind, Monsieur Fogg. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Let's hotel it. The port of Smyrna, or Izmir, thank you, as the locals called it, was the gateway to the Ottoman trade with Europe. The British and French had their own consulates and private quays, although sadly that meant most of the boats were going the wrong way. I don't know. At this point, the English Empire is fairly big. I'm going to guess that there's going to be more than just heading back in the wrong direction available to us if we do this. So, the British and French had their own consulates and private quays, but there was also Dutch and Venetian flags amongst the fleets of trade ships and dirigibles, I think. Don't know on that one. I struck up a conversation with a Greek textile merchant, or I roamed the dock inquiring into onward passage. Yes, we roamed. From the fishermen and merchants, but with little success. Until I tried bribing them, or until I began to tell a desperate story. It depends on how much they want. They're all obviously going to be more susceptible to a bribe. So let's say until I tried bribing them. At that point, they turned violent. Quite certain I was insulting their dearly held honour. I found shelter in the warehouse of a merchant, or I raced off the dock. Let's stick about. I watched my arrival with sceptical curiosity. I don't understand tourists. Why go somewhere unless you have a purpose? She made another mark in her ledger with more force than was strictly required. We are going around the world. Pleasure is a purpose, or I am at my master's mercy. Oh well, that feels a bit defeatist. Passpartout. We don't need that. Pleasure is indeed a purpose, but I think it's good to inspire people around you. So we are going around the world, I declared with my customary enthusiasm. She rolled her eyes so thoroughly I feared she would do herself an injury. I should have expected nothing else from a culture which invented the galette, she sighed, but, to my chagrin, declined to elaborate upon her distaste for the delicious foodstuff. Well, I think I asked about onward travel as the only one to go over here. There's no point leaving and not saying anything. We don't. If you don't ask, you don't get. That's the way I see it. I asked about onward travel and she shrugged. I have no idea of the most pleasant journey, she replied, but the fastest must surely be the carriage from Istanbul to Tehran and beyond. It's a whole new kind of engine, they say. I bade her farewell as the moon rose. A sailor played a tune on a lyre while his compatriots sang along. It was a beautiful night in Izmir. Ah. Wow. 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 That's a really long route. Right, let's have a quick explore, and then we better skedaddle. I took a brief turn about the docks once more in the late afternoon and came across a cheerful fisherman sitting on the deck of his trawler. You're looking for passage to Antalya? He asked. I'll be sailing tomorrow morning. I thanked him and said we would consider it. Further along, I encountered a few grizzled souls playing dominoes. I watched them play, but could make nothing of it. There appeared to be strategies and counterplays, but it seemed as random as a game of Find the Lady. A despicable pastime. Oh, many a game have I played called Find the Lady. I was usually a loser. Oh. Well, I think... Is it on to Istanbul to then go to Tehran? It is, isn't it? It's expensive, though. Wow, not very expensive. Let's go to Istanbul. Yes, we're only losing 3. That's fine by me. Oh, it's a steam carriage. Oh, I'll never understand these newfangled contraptions. Where's the horse, I say? Goods from the docks at Izmir are taken by steam carriage across the Ottoman Empire. We found a shipment heading for Istanbul and jumped aboard. Oh. The driver was a young boy. Oh, I paid little attention to our driver. Oh, you don't really want to be pointing out that he's a young boy, do you? Don't want to be giving off those kind of vibes. So I paid little attention to our driver, ensuring Monsieur Fogg was comfortable and the luggage was stowed, and we took off at terrific speed up the steep road slope. Nice. Let's converse. It's always good to converse. Oh. Greetings, driver. Don't worry, you won't distract me from the road. Good. Let's talk about Istanbul. Pray, tell me about Istanbul. Istanbul is the only city in the world to straddle 2 continents. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. What do you know about Tehran? I understand the fastest way onward must be the carriage from Istanbul. Not just that, but some buyers will pay well for evening jackets from Tehran. Okay. Well, we know Tehran leads to Kabul. What about Tehran to Baghdad? Probably, but you can buy ancient artifacts in Baghdad that will sell for a fortune in Bandar Abbas. I have no idea where that is. Can we get there via Tehran? I believe so. One can travel aboard the Little Beetle from Tehran to Bandar Abbas. Is that a longer journey? I think heading to Kabul is probably the best answer from here on in. Yeah. Soon the sea was far behind us and we were making our way along winding roads, tossing from one side to the other. Our driver was young and careless, moving the steering lever with quick flicking motions. You have been to Istanbul before, the boy demanded. You are frequent travellers. We are going around the world! I replied cheerfully. It's how we're going to answer every question we can from here on in. Around the world, the boy laughed wildly. How I would love that. When I grow up, I will be an adventurer. You have the spirit for it, I agreed, and as though to prove me right, he steered with even more savage abandon. Nice, we just made an uncomfortable journey even more uncomfortable. That's a win. Let's make sure Fogg's alright. That night we slept in the carriage, which unfolded rather cleverly to form a tent. That's interesting. I discovered a certain detail during the night, which I will share here, of course. But nowhere else. As I went out to stretch my legs prior to attempting to sleep, I came across our driver, a short distance from the carriage, sans headscarf and goggles. Perhaps you can deduce what I saw. Without this disguise, it was quite obvious, but I've said so much already. Is he or she? That's what I'm taking from this. But our driver was not a boy at all. He was not even human. Okay. Monsieur Fogg was oblivious, sleeping quite comfortably. Okay, my master chooses to regard the world thus, or I envy his clarity of purpose. So what is it? Is it like a frog, or a rat boy, or I don't know, a newt? It leaves more questions than it does answers. I feel this is a bit unfair. Oh well. My master chooses to regard the world thus, behind closed lids. The next day I said nothing to our driver. I accosted our driver about the deception I had uncovered. I spoke gently to our driver about what I had seen. Yes, because I want to see what it is. Giving assurance that such a secret was quite safe with me. I could see a flush rise between the goggles and scarf. It is the arrangement made with my father, came the reply. He would not let me out here driving on my own if my nature were known. Ooh. What nature, though? I don't know. What are you? What? One should not hide what one is. Maybe we can find out. I declared passionately. Easy enough for you to say. Nobody will try to dismantle you if they saw you truly. His jaw set more firmly, and incredibly, the carriage sped up, till I was pressed into my seat, unable to do more than gasp. A few more hours passed, and we arrived with sight of the great city of Istanbul. So it's a boy. It's a robot boy. That's fine. I dig it. You know, I've been in flying ships. I've been on mechanical carriages with no horses to steer by. I dig it. I dig the fact that there are little robot boys running around steering little robot carriages. I'm fine with it. I'm absolutely fine with it. But hey ho. What's in the market? Ah, more silk. More silk. We've got a pith helmet. That's the jungle traveller sets. That could be interesting. The desert driver's timetable. Right, so first things first. Is there anything worth selling here? Yeah. I mean, I could buy an extra suitcase for a second. Let's get a pith helmet first. That's going to fit. And then we'll buy that just to open up the rest of the routes around here. Is that it? Not really worth it, if I was going to be completely honest with you. We'll sell that back. We'll keep the suitcase. We've bought it now. We've bought it. And let's go explore. Oh. Well, there we go. I found myself in the historic quarter of Sultanahmet, in the shadow of the glorious minarets of the Blue Mosque. I had some hours before I had to return to Monsieur Fogg. Grand Bazaar or magnificent sights? Let's go Grand Bazaar. A covered market holding thousands upon thousands of stalls, dividing into streets of vendors selling everything from Turkish leather slippers to dried fruits and nuts stacked in precarious pyramids. The vendors called out in every language known to man, and I'd wager some entirely invented. So I pressed into the raucous throng, or I skirted the edge of it. Let's go on in, let's have a look-see around. My senses overwhelmed by the calls of the vendors and the aromas of cinnamon and mint. From one man's stall I picked up a worked silver dagger. The Balkan Khanjar with watered steel blade. A formidable choice, monsieur, the vendor enthused. A ceremonial item, although, and he winked. It may have practical uses for a dashing fellow such as yourself. Oh, he's such a charmer. I fixed him with a haughty gaze. Well, I smiled at him. Yeah, let's make it look like we're going to use it against him, I think. And haggled him down to £30 and 4 shillings. I paid him the money. It was too much. 30 quid? Why not? I bought the dagger and the vendor accepted my money with a wide smile, packing up my new Khanjar with alacrity. Alacrity? I explored the fit city further, or my explorations were at an end. I explored the city further. The streets were full of magnificent sights. Let's have a look at the palaces. Historic palaces and rambling manicured gardens. Bright marbled mosques or gold curtained carriages. I like the gold. Gold curtained carriages drawn by mechanical horses enamelled in scarlet and purple. Bright marbled mosques or a mob gathering on a street corner. Bright marbled mosques with minarets that glowed in the sunlight. Ah, my. It was so much beauty that my eyes began to ache, and I surprised myself with a desire to return to the more drab tones of my master. I found Monsieur Fogg reading a newspaper. Back at our lodgings, he looked up warmly. I gave my master a much abbreviated account of my adventures. I made him a cup of mint tea. I think we'll let him know what he's missing out on, before we settled in to consider the next course of our journey. Your funds have gone down a little. Yes, your character is now suave. Suave it is. This dagger. Worth 1,700 in Riyadh. Wherever that may be. Wherever that may be. Right, so I think it's fair to say we are going to be heading to Tehran next. Arrives Wednesday, departs tomorrow. It's £380. This is getting expensive. Is there anywhere else we can go? 190, 100 to Novorossiysk. That's how you say that. Okay, so I think we better go to Tehran. Tehran is the way forward. I hope we can take 3 baggages. I'm just making up words at this point. I'm just making up words. Right, so let's stop in the hotel. I awoke this morning in the silks of an Ottoman harem girl. Worse yet. I was in the forbidden woman's apartment of Topkapi Palace. I had no memory of the previous night. It came back to me all too clearly. No, we want to remember. We want to remember this, don't we? A shuttered, noisy Armenian tavern, many cups of raki, the unexpectedly potent local liqueur, a smiling Greek merchant telling me of the incomparable mosaics of the harem of the Topkapi Palace, home of the wives and coal-eyed concubines of the Sultan. But men are forbidden in the harem, he warned, on pain of death. He lured me into a wager, which I had not the good sense to refuse. Curse my weakness for a fine mosaic. I bartered for a costume, reasoning that I could disguise myself as a repair woman. It would make me less noticeable. As a repair woman? They don't repair things. That came across as really sexist. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, back in the time, in the day, especially in a place like this, there would not be a repair woman. So it would make me less noticeable. as I sneaked in. Even in my drunken stupor, I somehow managed to scale a wall and skulk into the palace complex from one of the more remote gardens. The guards paid me little mind in my bartered silks. My escape was similarly acrobatic. Suffice to say, I emerged intact into the gentle mid-morning sun, wearing a thoroughly rumpled suit of latest silks. Your character is now polished. Boom! That's a home run as far as I'm concerned. Oh, and then we picked up the harem silks as well. Baku. Nice. We better go. We better go. Let's go to Tehran. Embarketh. Ah, bugger. I'm going to take more luggage space. I'm not going to drop anything. And we're off on a train of some sort, which I presume that's a horse rearing up as opposed to a horse with two penises. But who knows? Who knows? A gigantic iron horse reared from the prow of the Istanbul Tehran Express, billowing gouts of steam from its nostrils. The carriage was wasteful in the extreme, or distinctly Ottoman in design. Ottoman in design. We're keeping positive. But where even the most luxurious European train sacrificed weight for efficiency, it was a matter of some pride that the carriage's engines used a carefully guarded new Persian design, supposedly capable of achieving a top speed of 75 miles per hour. Truly, we live in an age of wonder. This could tip the balance of power. Well, 75 miles an hour is mighty, mighty quick. I guess. Truly, we live in an age of wonder, unimaginable to our ancestors. Ever since I came into Monsieur Fogg's employ, I had experienced more than my share of marvels, and as the carriage pulled out of the station, I resolved to savour each and every one. I do hope you're not spending too much, Passpartout. That money has to last all the way around. Yeah, we're not doing too good, I'll be honest. Greetings, Ajag Ghoul. Good evening to you, Monsieur. So we're heading to Tehran. Better ask about it, I suppose. Persia's Bayandor class airships are the fastest in the sky. Can we get to Baghdad from Tehran? Seems unlikely. How about to Halil? Monsieur, really, but you can obtain amethysts from Halil if you sell for profit in Karachi. The first day was short because of our evening departure, so we had just about enough time to secure a compartment and observe our fellow passengers or settle my master. He's okay. His health is 97. So observe our fellow passengers. A thick-set janissary from the Turkish guard and a striking red-headed woman who travelled without a veil. Both were settled into their seats, eyes closed, and so did not appear open to conversation. Thus I let them be. Or I wondered idly if they had pockets worth picking. Ooh. I feel that's not going to end well with the Turkish guard. So we let them be. And rested myself. I think we're playing it safe there. I think that's a safe way to go. Fogg's doing all right. Let's see if there's anyone else to talk to. With another long day of foggish calm beckoning, I fell into conversation with the thick-built janissary or the unveiled red-haired woman. I'm one for a redhead. Eager to talk of engines and gauges and driver diameters. She told me her name was Ksenia Petrovna Volkova, and I asked her about the carriage or how she knew so much about locomotives. Let's tell me about yourself. Oh, I am a scholar of many things, she smiled evasively, and then gave me a challenging look. Do you truly believe the Persians have a revolutionary new engine? Surely they would not lie, I replied. Oh, there are many reasons to lie when one is playing the game of empire, Ksenia told me seriously, before talk shifted to lighter matters. Oh, she's a spy, I tell you. She's a spy. Oh, well, let's dab. Comb. You're most entertaining. The carriage stopped for 5 hours at the Iranian border while various uniformed inspectors scrutinised our papers and peered into our faces. Intriguingly, Ksenia was nowhere to be found. I peered right back. See, I knew there was something up. During this bureaucratic inspection, and only reappeared in our compartment as the carriage started to pull away beyond the border station. She's a spy. Let's look after Fogg again. There we go. I care to watch on Ksenia or stretch my legs. I'm interested now. I want to know what she's all up about. Who excused herself to go to the conveniences after a look at her pocket watch. Do I really want to be that kind of guy who's going to follow a lady to the toilet? Oh, I guess so. Despite Monsieur Fogg's raised eyebrow, my curiosity, I admit, eroded my politeness. But, merde! When I arrived, the conveniences were empty. My suspicions confirmed, I went searching, or I pondered the matter, leaning out of the window. Let's go searching. The carriage was bristling with uniformed guards who grew more unfriendly as I approached the front of the train. 2 taciturn fellows blocked the entrance to the engine car, no doubt guarding the secret new designs from prying eyes. Just then I saw a flash of red outside and hurried to the window. To my shock, Casina was hanging from the side of the train. She looked up at me through wind goggles and lifted an arm to wave, and I saw her hand was covered in a twisting metal gauntlet, or I gestured at her to grab back on before she fell. She seems to know what she's doing. I saw her hand was covered in a twisting metal gauntlet covered in rubber suction cups, much like those on a squid. As I watched, she determinedly began to suck her way towards the engine car. I was confounded but impressed by her mad daring, and I stumbled back to my compartment in a daze. It was at least an hour before Casino appeared, cheeks ruddy but otherwise not a hair out of place. You look flushed, madame, or madame, I suggested calmly. Do you like squid? Let's be direct. You look flushed, madame, I remarked. Oh, you flatter me, monsieur, she returned, with all the vapidity of a country debutante. Ah, yes, I try valiantly to penetrate her laughing facade, but all too soon the carriage pulled into Tehran station. Unsurprisingly, perhaps, the red-haired adventuress had disappeared. By the time I gathered up our bags, and by then I was too entranced by the sights and smells of the ancient city of Tehran, capital of the kingdom of Iran. Relations with Fogg have deteriorated slightly. This is only because I've been chasing a redhead around and not looking after him, but he's fine. He's doing all right. And with that, we are pulling in to Tehran. And I think this is where we shall end this episode. So, thank you for watching. As always, a like is appreciated. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.